Do these 2 things and you will never have to chase again. Hi guys, my name is Christine and I'm a dating, relationship and personal development coach. And today I'm talking about if you do these 2 things, you will never have to chase again. So let's get straight into it. So the first thing that you should do so you don't have to chase anyone ever again is to only date people that show a high level of interest in you. So how can you tell then if someone has a high level of interest in you? So the first thing to look out for is they don't come up with excuses and they don't flake on you last minute when you make plans to meet up with each other. Basically, they always say yes to going out with you and they always show up on time and they don't come up with any excuses to not see you. So if you get a message from them last minute saying, hey, sorry, can't do this, or perhaps they say this during the week as well, something, it doesn't have to be the day before or on the day, or perhaps when you ask them out, they say, oh, I'm a bit busy, and they don't give you any alternative times when they aren't busy. Basically, if they are not saying yes enthusiastically to going out with you, they're probably not interested enough. They have to always be there, they have to always show up, they can't flake on you. That is someone who's interested in you, someone who is there, someone that shows up, someone that doesn't flake on you, someone that doesn't give you excuses as to why they can't see you. That is how to tell if someone is interested in you. Another way to tell if someone is interested in you is they, are genuinely interested in you as a person. So that means they ask questions about you, they're not always on their phone when you're around each other, like they're genuinely interested in you as a person. Now keep in mind, this is a sign that they're interested in you only if they are doing the first thing that I said, which is they still meet up with you, they don't come up with any excuses. Don't take this list as if they only do one of these things, that means they're interested in you. No, they have to do all of these things simultaneously. So they have to meet up with you and they don't flake on you. They have to be very interested in seeing you and always show up. And they have to also be, very interested in your life and wanting to know more about you and are curious about you and find you interesting. Think of the word interest. If someone has a high level of interest in you, that means they will be interested in what you have to say. Another way you can tell if someone likes you, if they have a high interest in you, is they never say things like, oh, I need a break, or I'm not sure where I am in life right now, or I'm not really ready for a relationship. That's a sign of someone who doesn't have much interest in you. So again, avoid these kinds of people. You don't want to be sticking around these kinds of people. You want to be with someone who wants to be around with you, who wants to end up in a relationship with you. And they don't say things like, I'm not looking for a relationship. Someone who is interested in you won't say those things. They won't say, I need a break. They won't say, I'm not sure how I feel. They won't say, I'm not looking for a relationship, or I'm not looking to date anyone right now. Someone that is interested in you will not say those things to you. Another way to tell that someone is interested in you is that they will do all that they can to spend time with you. So one of the reasons why I knew that my wife was really interested in me when we started dating is even if she had been at work all day, she would still find time to come and see me in the evenings, especially after those first few weeks of dating. Like, she wanted to see me more, and she was putting in more effort by seeing me even though she had been at work all day. Like, she was still interested in seeing me. So if someone's saying to you like, oh no, I'm really tired, I've been to work all day, they're not that interested, okay? Now, it's true, someone might say those things at the beginning of a courtship when they don't really know you that well yet. But if it's been a few weeks, if it's been let's say about a month, and you two have been dating each other consistently, it's very normal for that person to want to see you after work, to make more time for you, basically. At the beginning, they might not do that kind of thing. They'll probably only be willing to see you on the weekends, when they do have time, when they do have more energy. But as time progresses and they start falling in love with you, they will start to do absolutely anything to be with you. I highly recommend that you watch this video on how to attract the right partner if you have been struggling with this kind of thing. And also, please do leave a like on this video, and please do subscribe if you haven't done so already. So the second thing to do so that you will never have to chase again is don't force things and don't push a relationship. So the first thing to do was to only date people that showed a high interest in you. So I've already kind of touched on this, and that is date them once a week until they start contacting you more, right? When they start contacting you more, assume that means that they want to hang out with you, assume that it means that they want to be around you. So when someone reaches out to you, just assume that they want to hang out. And if they are reaching out to you, if they're initiating contact with you, and if they're doing that more frequently, basically all you have to do is when they reach out to you, just arrange when you guys can hang out. Because usually at the beginning of a courtship, you see each other maybe once a week, perhaps even once every 2 weeks, and that happens for a few weeks, and then eventually you start hanging out more and more, because at that point you're starting to fall in love with each other. You've gotten to know each other just enough that you want to spend more time with each other. You're not that suspicious about each other anymore. You're not being too objective anymore. You're starting to feel those feelings, you're starting to fall in love, and so are they, and therefore you always want to be together, and you're making as much effort as possible to see each other. And that's got to be both ways, right? They have to be feeling it, and you have to be feeling it as well. And the best way to tell if they are feeling it as well is if they're contacting you more. So when they are contacting you, your job, all you have to do, is just to say to them, when do you want to hang out? I really want to see you. That's all you have to say. Because relationships, they happen naturally. It's a natural progression. It's something that doesn't happen overnight. It's something that happens over a few weeks and months as you two get to know each other more and more, and eventually you spend more and more time together. And this is great because you don't have to do anything. You don't have to chase. You can allow them to come to you at their own pace. Of course, at the beginning, you might have to be the one that reaches out to them first. You might have to arrange dates with them, to hang out with them. But eventually, they will start putting in more of the effort over time. So all you really need to do at the beginning is just to gently nudge it in the direction that you want it to go. Just gently nudge them in the direction that you want them to go. You ask them out once a week. You start having fun dates with each other, you're enjoying each other's company, then after a while, they'll start reaching out to you more, you start seeing each other more, and you then end up in that relationship because you two just always want to spend time with each other. It's a natural progression with just a little bit of prompting at the beginning, so the ball can get rolling, because sometimes people are shy, like they don't want to be the one that makes the first move. So if you're watching this video, let that person be you make the first move, you ask them out on a date, and then you keep on doing that until they feel more comfortable doing the same thing and asking you out and reaching out to you more as they become more and more comfortable. So how do you know then if you're in a relationship? How do you know if the relationship has happened? And that you two are exclusive? So the first way is that you both are not dating other people, like you're not seeing anyone else and they're not seeing anyone else. Another way to tell that you're in a relationship with someone is you have met each other's friends and family. So obviously at the beginning of a courtship, it's probably not a good idea to start double dating and to introduce family and friends to this new person that you're seeing, because you don't really know each other well enough yet to do that kind of thing, especially if you're only at that stage when you're only seeing each other once a week. But eventually, after a few months, not within the first few days, after a few months, that is when you get to meet the parents, that's when you get to meet their friends. And if you've met each other's friends and family and they're introducing you as their boyfriend or girlfriend, then obviously you are in a relationship. Another way to tell that you're in a relationship with them is if you are meeting up with them multiple times a week. Now again, they have to be doing all of these things simultaneously. It's not just, they're doing one of these things, so that means we're in a relationship. So don't just take them as being with you multiple times a week as you two being in a relationship. It has to be all of these things, okay? And the last way to tell if you're in a relationship with each other is if you're both talking about your future together. So if they're bringing up the topics of marriage and kids and going on holidays together, making plans for the future with each other, like, we should go and have this day out with each other and stuff like that. Those are signs that you're in a relationship. That's a sign that they want to spend more time with you because they're talking about their future with you. So if they're doing things like that, then you two are most likely in a relationship. And as you can see, you don't have to chase in any of these kinds of circumstances. If you date someone who has a high level of interest in you, you won't have to put much effort in because they already have a high level of interest in you, which means they will more likely be putting in a lot of effort as well. You won't always be the one that's having to put in the effort. And the second point, which is to not force a relationship and to not force things, is obviously if you're forcing things and you're trying to pin someone down to a relationship, you're doing a lot of things. Like that takes a lot of effort. That takes a lot of brain power and thinking on how you can trap someone into a relationship. But if you sit back and you let it happen naturally over time, then you're not forcing things, you're not chasing. And if you have to chase someone a lot to get their attention, then they don't have enough interest in you, and they're probably not someone you should be spending your time with. So if you feel like you're putting a lot of effort to try and get someone to like you, you shouldn't be with that person. You're doing too much. And if you're having to do too much, then it's not the right person. They don't have enough interest in you. If you would like coaching with me, then please go to www.christineloveridge.com. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall talk to you again very soon. Bye guys.